Want to add some interest and texture to your cards without the need for extra postage? Try some pinprick or stitched background dies. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Heshik and I am sharing many seasonal Joyfold cards, all with delicate texture of stitched backgrounds created with dies from Frantic Stamper. Each of these cards are also a version of Joyfolds. The Joyfold Fun Fold is a very easy fun fold to do, and it adds interest to the traditional A2 card base. Instead of a card that simply opens from left to right, the card has two folds and several extra layers to decorate. My first card is a traditional Joyfold, and as you can see, it has the beautiful Pinprick snowfall background on there. It's flat, but it has texture, and it says sending, and then you open this flat and it has joy on the inside. So this Joyfold has joy on the inside as well. This joy on the inside was done with the Mega Joy die from Frantic Stamper. And so you can see it's much more interesting than just a traditional A2. Now, of course, all the details on all the cards I share will be on my blog, and links will be in the description box to the cards and the products featured. Here is a template for a traditional Joyfold. So there are two flaps. The larger one is 8.5 by 4 1/4, and you score it at 5.5. So you end up with a card base that is the A2 size. Then this piece here is 3.5 by 8, and you score it in half, or at 4 inches. Now, of course, you can play with those measurements. You can make them bigger or smaller. But the point is, of course, that you have, instead of a traditional A2 card that either opens from left to right or top to bottom, you have a couple different folds there, and that's what makes it very joyful. And it's, ever since I learned that years ago, it's just one of my favorites. I really like to play with that design. Halloween will be here before we know it. I used a spider web stitched background on this card. It's in the black, so it might be a little hard to see, but that whole area there, as well as here, has a stitched web background. And this one is a double flap Joyfold, okay? So it has this one here, and then you open it up, and this comes up, and then there's a little card inside there. And of course, all those dies are from Frantic Stamper. And then you open it again, and you have Happy Halloween and another cute little Halloween kitty. So there are several flaps on there. And what I did to get it to stay shut, this was a heavy black cardstock. I did put a little magnet under here and also under the ghost. Just a tiny little one, just enough to hold it flat. And this is the template for this card. So you start with a piece that is 11 inches long by 5.5 inches, and you score it at 4 1/4 and 2.5 inches from the end. So this is 2.5 inches from this end, and this is at 4 1/4. So it will again end up being 5.5 by 4 1/4. So it's like a traditional A2 size, but it's got all these interesting extra flaps. Now this flap here is 7, and you score it at 3.5, 7 by 3. Again, you can play with all these measurements, but if you want to just make it easy, that's what you do. And then in this case, I took this flap and I put it inside there, and this top piece has a magnet. It doesn't have to, but my cardstock being so thick was not wanting to lay it all flat. So here it is with a double flap Joyfold with one here and one here, and then the inside. Lots of fun places to decorate. I wanted to try a 5x7 version of a Joyfold. And here's the first card that I made. Now in this one, I am featuring the Swirling Leaves stitched background. I don't know, I'm hoping you can see that. It's just beautiful, and has all different kinds of leaves, but it's flat, but it has texture. And I'm going to show you how to make a version of this card. This flap goes up, and then this pretty flap here also has that stitched background and then goes down. And we have some extra layering maple leaves there and a large leaf with blessed. So I thought I really liked that card, and I am going to show you how to make that. So here's a template for that one. It's 5 inches this way and it's 7 inches this way when it's folded, but you cut 5 inches this way by 9.5. So this is 5 by 9.5, and I'll show it to you on the other card. And then this piece here is 4 by 10.5, and you fold it in half at 5 1/4. So the top piece is 4 by 10.5, and you score it at 5 1/4. And then this piece here is 5 by 9.5, and you score it at 2.5. And then of course you have several layers that you can decorate. So this piece here is the main piece, and again it's 5 by 9.5, and I am scoring it at 2.5. And you fold up Now I want this piece here to also have that pretty stitched leaves on them. So I am going to put this through my die cut machine. I can't do it on camera. I just can't. It's just too big to move over. But I am just going to put it right on the line and have this part here. I could put it on my glass plate. I want the whole thing to have a pattern, so I'm going to go right up to the line and maybe just a tinge over. And then we will put that through the die cut machine. I already did the stitched background on that piece there, and I cut out the largest of several maple leaves. So on the other one that I didn't quite get it down far enough. Now that's okay, but I did want to make absolutely certain that the pattern went all the way to the fold. It would not be noticeable probably to anyone but me, but I could see that these patterns right here weren't finished. So I want to make sure I got all the way down. And it's even a little on the back, but of course that's no big deal. So these are the dies that I'm going to use in this card. I have the scroll maple leaf, and then I have the stacking maple leaves, and that's what I use to cut out this opening here. And then I have this piece that came out of there, and I am going to put that back in there. And then I have the other two maple leaves, and then I have blessed or blessings, which I think is just perfect for this time of year. So this could be a thank you, or it could be a Thanksgiving, or I'm blessed to know you. So I've cut out the large maple leaf, and I've done the background. Now I have a piece here. It's the second piece, so I have cut it 4 by 10.5, and I scored it at 5 1/4. And I am going to put this piece on top, and I kind of want that background not to be cream, but yet I wanted the card base to be cream so I could write a message on it and do other decorating. So I'm going to add some distress inks, and I've put little marks that I just want to make sure I cover up those marks, but I don't want to go all the way to the edge because there will be a border on all the sides. So I'm just going to add some barn door red ink inside here. Let's see if that's covered. It has everything I need to. It looks like I need to do a little bit of erasing and add a little more ink over here. I could see this mark, and I don't want to do that. Oh. Well, let's add a little more ink then, if you're going to be stubborn. No one else would probably notice it, but I did. Yep, we're good. So I am going to glue this onto that card front. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to use to glue with it. I just got this. This is the brand new My Sweet Petunia Precision Glue Press. I only have had it a short time, but so far I am loving it. I have had a badly broken wrist and it has arthritis, and I don't have a lot of strength in this hand. And sometimes when it comes to glue, I have to use two hands to squeeze it out. Now I really like my Barely Art glue, and I have a large refill. When this one is done, I will refill it with that probably. This has the Nouveau glue, and that's fine. Already in that, so you get a full bottle of glue. You get two tips. One's the precision glue tip and one's a larger, and you get an empty bottle. So you could actually have several bottles of glue going with this. But the part that I really, well, two things I like. Number one, this sits with this fine tip in a I don't know, rubber piece down there, and you never need to worry about a needle or it clogging, but it's always ready to go. So I really like that. But the best part to me is this handle here lets the glue out, and you can control very easily how much comes out. You can use just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit, or you can get more. And although it's a precision tip, I mean, you're never going to get a lot. But then if you really want a lot or a lot more, you can use the other tip. But there is no, it is so easy that you barely touch this and it's coming, but it doesn't come too fast. So really, really easy ergonomically on people like me with wrists and arthritis. So I'm really, really liking that, and I do recommend it. And of course, there's a link where you can find it in the description box. I usually do use glue now to put card fronts on because, you know, you can put it on slightly crooked and then you can't move it if you have something like a permanent score tape or something. And I did, one of my cards I screwed up. I was like, oh, I can just, you know, use some score tape on this, and I ended up having to rip it out, and that didn't work very well. So now I'm going to add this leaf back in, and again with this precision of this gun, I can just put a little glue right where I want it, barely having to touch it. It comes out, but it doesn't, it's not like using some that you would just get way too much either. So I do recommend it. Now on this, I want that to go in, I think about an inch down, and also about a half an inch. And I did not get out a ruler here. Let's see if I can find one. Well, let's eyeball it. Let's say that's about an inch or so. And the sides are going to be, you know, equal about a half an inch. So I think I'll be okay. I'm just going to lay that flat, and I'm going to try to get that straight at the top and about a half an inch. Oops, can't put that flat, can you? So this, of course, is how the card is going to open. It is going to have this flap go up and then this flap go, and it will go into a traditional 5x7 envelope, but be very interesting for the eyes. And then on the inside, I have this scroll maple leaf that I die cut out of foil cardstock. And I have some score tape. You can of course use glue on this, but foil really doesn't like glue, and if it shows, it's very difficult to get off, especially not with a glue eraser. So I have a couple glue dots on there, and I have some score tape on that. And then I want to add the blessings across there, but I think I need glue to do that, unless we do some glue dots. Let's try glue dots, because again, it will not like me putting glue on that, and if it shows, there's just no way. I have some micro glue dots here, and they won't show, but they're very sticky. And we should be able to get this to stay down with that. Maybe one more. Okay. So this time I said blessings. The other one I said blessed. They're both how I feel about sending things in the mail, sending my blessings. And then I have the other two of the stacked maple leaves, out of foil cardstock. And I have some little score tape strips on the back of this one. And let's put that there. So our 5x7 Joyfold for fall or Thanksgiving is complete. There is the card front and this lower part here that have stitched backgrounds, and then you open it up and you see blessings and beautiful leaves on the inside. I have made this card and I will be proud to send it out to someone special and share some blessings with. I hope my cards inspire you to give some of these ideas and products a try, and then send some of your handmade blessings out into this world.